Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 230 is brought to you by Chloe and Gia, some of our amazing Patreon supporters. This episode is also possible thanks to our producers, For the Whim, Tab, Mikey Toe, and Lazy Villager Megan Leslie. This week, Nina and I are going to give a deep dive on some bunny villagers and then discuss why Bunny Day is the best holiday, regardless of what Nina says, and what we'd like from the future of holidays. So to begin, hello Nina, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. The kids have spring fever, but I have Friday off and then I have Monday off for Easter break. So doing well.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I'm very good about knowing myself, and I remember who I was as a kid, and I would not be an easy kid to deal with when it's close to vacation. I can tell you right now, if you have those students, those are all me.
Yep.
So I guess before we hop into our stuff that's going on here, Nina, you had some news to share, a little bit of an update of something we covered a long time ago. Can you tell the people what it is?
Yeah. So was it in the summer? I think it was summer of 2021. We talked a little bit about an aquarium that was hosting a stamp rally in Japan, in Yokohama. And then we kind of never heard about it. I don't think we saw a lot of info. We didn't see a lot of pictures from it. I think a lot of people assumed it never happened. And all of a sudden, there's this little TikTok out of showing someone doing the stamp rally, and it looks incredible. And the user is at Ghoul in Tokyo, like the spooky ghoul, and there's like a period in between each of the words. And it looked like she had just done it, but if you pause the video, it's her stamp card says summer 2021. So I don't know if they just postponed it and kept the stamp booklets, or if this is really old news. But the stamp rally looks incredible. I want to go to it so bad. Did you watch this video?
Yes, I watched it. It's incredible. They need to bring this. As soon as we heard about this, I was like, bring this to the world. All of it.
Everyone.
Every single museum, every single aquarium needs an Animal Crossing themed tour stamp rally that goes through. It's so cute.
It looks so
It's adorable.
Cute. Well, so if you look through, she has 2 videos posted now, and it shows like cute props in the exhibit. Like there's a Gulliver passed out on the rocks next to the big touch tank, which is incredible. And there's like big screens that show like Nook, and they're advertising the event. They've put up Blather's infographics next to exhibits of all the animals that are featured in the games, like at least the ones that are at the aquarium, like the sunfish, the spider crab, the snapping turtle. It looks so cute. And Chuy got the link. There we go. And you could collect 10 stamp. In her second video, she says there's 10 stamps you could have collected. And the stamps are really nice. They kind of remind me of like the Pocket Camp faces, where they're like very like bold and simplified. So you could get Fauna, Kurt, Peanut, Alfonso, Molly, Lily, Octavian, Goldie, Aurora, and Rocco. And I would have just spent my entire time making sure I got all of the stamps. They look incredible. I think she said there was also like a surprise one too, but I didn't see what it was.
I don't know. I guess my main question is like, was there the stamps, were those like the prizes, or is there like a big prize at the end of it?
I don't think there was a big prize. I think it was just getting the adorable stamps and filling your little like passport looking booklets. But they did show that the I guess the like gift shop, the aquarium gift shop, was selling tons of Animal Crossing merch. that had like a scene. Oops, gosh, sorry. That had like a scene of like the characters at the beach. It looks like very official art, like very bright and kiddish art of a bunch of characters at the beach, including like Blathers and Pascal and like a bunch of ocean things, because I guess it's the aquarium. But there was like journals and tote bags and stamps and folders and
Oh, the dream.
I know.
I was literally at Target the other day just looking at their stationery set that they had for Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And the main thing I wanted was like the little clips, like the paper clips that they had with all their faces on them. And I was like, I'm about to spend $20 on this just for these paper clips. I didn't end up doing it because I was there on a mission to get the last unopened pack of amiibo cards that I wanted.
Yeah.
I keep adding things I want for my amiibo card collection to keep it going. The latest thing was like I want an unopened pack of every single series of Animal Crossing cards, and I have that now. I have series 1 through 5. I have the Sanrio. I have a Sanrio pack, and then I also have a Welcome Amiibo pack that's unopened.
Oh my gosh.
That's done. And now that I have all that, I'm just like, all right, time to find the binders.
It's never ending. Find the binders.
I'm never going to find the binders. They're all like $200 plus, so it ain't going to happen.
Maybe someone can make you a binder.
That said, okay, this is going to drive me over the edge. My friend did get me the Series 5 one. So I haven't received it yet. They're in the UK. So my friend Steve from Nintendo Noise, he did pick that up for me. And so I will eventually have that one. And I know the minute I get that one, I'm just going to go on eBay and be like, "Ooh, should I get these?" Nope, I shouldn't, because that'll be like $800 and that's too much.
Okay, but maybe one day they won't be so expensive.
One can dream.
I know that's not really how it works, but
honestly, Mayor Mori was actually like, "Hey, listen, if they come out again, I'll get you some." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Yeah. So, anyways, that's a tangent. This aquarium is amazing. Bring it to everywhere.
Yes,
Nintendo,
please.
We're begging you.
Yes.
Please.
You will make money, and that's, your ultimate goal, correct?
Yeah. I don't see why not. Like, come on. Logistically, it sounds totally possible.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and start literally hopping, because it is the Bunny Villager Deep Dive. We are going to go through all of the little bunnies, talk about how they hop up and down, all the villagers that are bunny rabbits and everything, and just give you a little bit of details on them, talk about all their special things going on. Nina, we kind of did these together.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Do you want to go back and forth?
Bunnies. Yeah, sure. Okay. I can start from the bottom. You can start from the top.
Okay. Well, so in honor of Bunny Day, instead of talking more and more about Zipper, because we've done that for at least 2 years now. Who
is Zipper? We'll never know.
Yeah, I still think it's Pelly. Not Pelly. What's her name?
Phyllis.
Phyllis, thank you. I still think it's Phyllis.
It's a good guess.
Anyways, we're going to start off with Bon Bon, the cutie. You've had Bon Bon, haven't you?
I love Bon Bon. Honestly, I think I miss her more than any other villager who's like come and gone on my island.
She was sweet.
She was like really my bestie, and I think I might just have to bring her back someday.
Yeah, why not? Mm-hmm. Well, Bon Bon is a peppy bunny, and we will see that there are lots of peppy bunnies. It's kind of incredible. She's kind of like this muted brown color, like a clay taupe brown, I guess. She's got yellow bangs and cute pink cheeks, and she's like, her face is like really geometric looking. And she was new in New Leaf. She is such a cutie. I've never had her, but I really like her little gladiator sandal feet.
Yeah, it's always fun when they have like details that I feel like don't get in the way of the rest of their design, because you've talked about like your least favorite thing about the superhero cat villagers, or the superhero villagers is just like they have so many, their design is just like unchangeable, like we saw Kid Cat without his helmet. Like, we want that
Oh,
version of Kid Kat,
yeah.
but he's always going to have his little superhero helmet, unfortunately.
One day they'll take it off because Doc and Eugene were upgraded to that their little glasses could come
Yeah,
off, so we can wish.
that's true. There's like aspects to the villagers that are like permanent features, and then there's others where they're like, no, we can change that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Eugene, the koala with the shades, I think his design now, like if you give him glasses, he won't have those, right?
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Doc and
Yeah.
Eugene both have like the cutest little button eyes underneath their glasses when you switch them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
It's kind of
cute.
like Lottie without makeup.
Oh, it's so cute. That's my favorite.
Yeah. My bunny from the bottom is a pretty interesting one. This one's Toby, and Toby is a smug bunny, yellow with green hair and some rosy cheeks, and the design is based on Keroppi. So this is one of the Sanrio characters that we have
Yeah.
gotten. And Toby is only acquirable through the Sanrio cards. You can only scan them in. They will not appear in any other way. They first came in New Leaf. That's where the Sanrio amiibo were introduced. Initially, those cards did not come to North America. They were only in Europe and Japan, and they were such a pain to get if you didn't get them. But now they're pretty widely available. At least they're in Targets. That's where they're exclusive to here in North America. I think they're still available in other places in the world as well. So they did a pretty good restock on them, so they're not as hard to get. But Toby has a bunch of little Keroppi themed furniture. This is probably like my favorite of the series, honestly. The little froggy things, they're so cute.
Oh,
Especially the
yeah.
bridge item.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that item, I wish that could just be turned into big and actually go over my rivers because it's adorable. Um, but yeah, this character is one of the Sanrio ones, so if you haven't seen them, that's probably why. They literally only come in these packs. So, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
true.
cute one.
He is cute. After Bonbon for me is Bunny, Bunnie.
Yep.
So Bunny is one of those like classic characters that you kind of see a lot on art, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of
Mm-hmm.
this like creamsicle color. She's orange and her face and her inner ears are kind of like a lighter cream orange. She's got like clown eyes. How would you describe these eyes?
Kind of like the starry eye thing,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of villagers that have those sparkles in their eyes,
Yeah, but
right?
she's
That's
got like one eyelash that just goes straight up. And she's got rosy cheeks too. But
yeah.
she's also an oldie. Okay, so I want you to notice that she does not have a nose and correlate that to her being an oldie from Animal Forest, from the very first Animal Crossing game. And now we'll see if I'm wrong because we're going to go through them, but I think that most of the bunnies and animals that started that far back do not have noses. Have you noticed
They
that?
might not. Yeah,
Some of
yeah.
them do. Some of them definitely do, but I've just noticed that a lot of them do not have noses. Like Rover doesn't have a nose.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's just
They
odd
they
to
had to
me.
save on the pixels back
Yeah,
then.
exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to mention Bunny is my most recent plushie acquisition. I ran
Oh,
into her in Barnes and Noble, and I was like, "Oh, yep, gotta get Bunny."
no
So,
way. Was she in like an
hmm
Animal Crossing section in Barnes and Noble?
yeah, they have little stuffed toys kind of in the, board game section and
Yeah.
stuff. And I typically look to see like what Nintendo's got there. I've gotten a Captain Toad from Barnes and Noble. I
No
had to get
way.
Captain Toad. He's so cute. Um, but yeah, Bunny was there one day and I was just like, "Yep, gonna have to get this." So, yeah,
Hmm.
she's on my couch right now.
Wow. Well, she's also peppy. I don't know if I said that or not. Also peppy.
Yes, definitely Peppy. My next one is Tiffany, and Tiffany is the perfect villager for anybody making a haunted mansion themed island, like someone we may know.
No, Michi's not making Haunted Mansion. She's making Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Definitely still good for
Yeah,
this one,
for
but
real.
Tiffany is a snooty white rabbit with light brown tips on her ears and bright red lipstick.
Yeah.
And it seems like most people think she is based off Audrey Hepburn's Breakfast at Tiffany's, which would explain the name, right?
I guess
Um,
so.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I'm like, I guess, but she's got a different like Halloween vibe to her, I
Yeah.
feel,
She's
that
got
just
like
like doesn't quite fit the Audrey Hepburn thing for me.
she's like
Um
spooky cabaret.
yeah, that exactly. That's what I get from her. But you know, I guess there's a bit of a name coincidence there, right?
I mean,
Um
she's got fishnets on.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
literally got thigh-high fishnets on.
Yes. Yeah.
And
She's fun.
gloves.
I had her a little bit for Halloween because I was like, yep, I love these Halloween villagers. Got to get them all.
So fancy.
Hmm. She was introduced in Animal Forest E Plus, which
Ooh.
this is where things get real confusing with the
Mhm.
first game. So, Animal Forest is the N64 Animal Crossing that only came out in Japan. Animal Forest Plus is the GameCube version of that game. Animal Crossing is the North American GameCube version, which actually added a lot of things. And then Animal Forest E Plus is the final version of Animal Crossing, which after Japan saw Animal Crossing over here, they said, you all did an amazing job with this. We're going to add all of that stuff to our game, plus some more things. So Animal Forest E Plus is the ultimate version of that first Animal Crossing, and that's where she got added. A bunch of villagers got added to that game, so she was one of those.
And that's like the one with the tropical island, right?
That island is in the North American GameCube one. You could only get there if you plug in a Game Boy Advance to your GameCube, and there were villagers that were exclusive to that island.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't think
interesting.
she was one of the exclusive ones. They're pretty, you can tell when
Yeah.
they're island exclusive. They look like island villagers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So interesting.
so yeah, just a little bit of a history there for her, but she's a fun one. I like her a lot.
Mhm. Next up is Carmen. She's such a cutie. I love Carmen. Carmen is like a
Yes.
chocolate brown bunny who has kind of like an off-white face and like swooped side bangs. She's wanting to be emo, but she's like too cute to be emo.
She gives
And
me Chocomint
yeah,
vibes.
she's totally choco mint because the inside of her ears are like a blue. They're blue, but they're kind of minty.
Mm-hmm.
She has a cute little like gap in her teeth and side eyes. She's just adorable. She's another peppy bunny who started in City Folk. So she's kind of middle of the road. Started late in the game.
Yeah, I always love when we hear about characters added in games like City Folk and Wild World, because
Yeah.
I forget. Yeah, a New Leaf had so many characters added, so you almost expect them to have been added there.
That's
But
true.
yeah, when we get those few characters that were added in those weird in-betweener games, it's pretty cool.
And she's a cutie. They did a good job with her.
Yeah, I really like her. I want to have her on my island at some point.
Yeah.
So the next one is Snake, and he is a jock bunny. He is pink with some yellow cheeks, and most people will recognize him as he wears a ninja costume, which is a reference to Solid Snake from the Metal Gear series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hence the name Snake. Yeah, it's honestly like it doesn't make sense unless you know that. Yeah. And he's been in the game since Animal Forest, the very first one.
Very
So this is
first.
the
That's so interesting to me.
yeah, this is the N64 one. There were definitely a lot of bunnies in the series from the get-go.
That's true. What is it called?
Metal Gear?
When did Metal Gear come out?
Let me
Because it
see.
must have been, I don't know. It's just interesting that he was so early on. I would have thought he'd be added later, I guess. And he's another
1998.
1998. Jeez. Okay, so
Yeah.
it was like a classic game by the time. Well,
I
sort
mean,
of.
it's only 3 years later that
Yeah.
this game came out, so
Maybe
must
they
have
were
left an
just
impression in the world.
Yeah, just making a lot of money off of it.
Yeah.
But he's another one who his ninja gear, other than the shirt, of course, doesn't come off. He is a ninja, and he is sticking to it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but it would be fun to dress up these villagers a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what he looks like without his mask on. I don't know. I don't know if I can imagine it. All right, next up is Chrissy, and I'm going to do Chrissy with her sister Francine together, if you don't mind me jumping a little bit.
No, that makes sense.
You know, they're twinsies, or sisters, I guess. Some people think they're part of a pop group together because they're on the KK Bubblegum album together, which is just perfect. But Chrissy is a peppy and Francine is a snooty. They are a pink bunny and a blue bunny, respectively, both with white pink polka dots, green noses, little like blonde curls on their heads, and pink cheeks. They're super cutesy. Like, this is like the cutest looking that you can get in this game. Like cutesy babyish, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And they're both from E+.
Oh, there you go.
And they both skipped Wild World too.
Oh, cool.
Isn't
So they were in City Folk, but not Wild World.
But not Wild World.
Wow, that is. See, that's the other thing that's like pretty strange. Well, I don't know. It's fun to see just like the different games each character pops into. Yeah.
It makes me wonder if like their polka dots were too complicated or something. I don't.
Honestly, I feel like that makes sense because the DS. If you ever go back to that one, you're like, oh, yep, they're. You count every pixel on the screen here.
It's just interesting.
They're fun. Are they both on the cover of Bubblegum KK?
Yes, they're both. And then Francine, I think, is the only one who's on the cover of like Cafe KK, maybe.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I looked it up just now. They're right there, right next to each other. Love it.
Yeah, they're like center stage.
Mm-hmm.
They're
cute.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next one I've got is one of the newest bunnies to be added to the game, and that is Sasha.
Ooh la la.
Everybody's new favorite bunny, basically. The lazy seafoam bunny with blonde bangs. Really cute, kind of like, you know, pop star vibe to him. I love this little guy. He's been living on my island. We're having a great time together. Yes. And he's, you know, one of the few characters actually added in New Horizons, and not even at launch either.
No,
Sasha was added the version 2.0 update and got a whole new set of amiibo cards. He's one of those on there. Really, really cool kind of way to get added to the game.
Yeah, he's a special boy.
Yeah, and there's kind of like those rare. They're not the first to get added to a game through updates. Of course, you know, even looking beyond the E+ game, which was like, you know, ultimate update final version of the GameCube game. There were villagers added in New Leaf through an update, the Welcome Amiibo one. Yes, there were returning villagers to that game, but there were brand new ones in the form of other series amiibo, like all the Zelda characters, the Splatoon characters, and and I think Feline, the Monster Hunter character, and then there was even a couple that you could only get through events in Japan. There was Philly the horse, who was like through 7-Eleven, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And then there's this like little hamster one I don't remember the name of, but a little hamster that you could only get in Japan. through an event, I think.
We're gonna have to look that up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, Sasha, one of those update added villagers, really cute, really popular.
Yes.
Totally cute.
All right, my next one is Claude, who gets introduced in a kind of weird way too. We'll get back to that in a second. But he is a lazy. Gosh, we're like either getting peppies or lazies. That's really interesting.
That's the bunny way.
That's the bunny way. You're either peppy or you're lazy. So Claude is a brown bunny with blue like inner ears, and he's got these like either eyebrows or hair on his forehead that looks like kind of like Charlie Brown's eyebrows, you know? And he's given these side eyes. He's like real chill looking, really cute.
I love Claude.
Do you think this Charlie Brown swirl is on purpose?
Oh, I think so.
You think so? I'm just like, why wasn't he named Charlie then?
I don't know.
He's cute,
I was kind of like trying to think of all the different names Lucy would call Charlie Brown, and I was like, did she ever call him a Claude? So, yeah.
Oh, like a CLOD, like someone who clods around?
Yeah.
And then it's a play on that? Possibly.
Yeah, that was my only thing, but I couldn't, like, remember an actual time when I've heard that, so... Yeah, I don't know.
He was originally in Animal Forest, the first one, and then left us after E+, and didn't return until New Leaf. He was one of the RV cards, I'm pretty sure, that were reintroduced.
The Welcome Amiibo set is... And I'm really at the point where I'm surprised they haven't reintroduced that set, because all those villagers, they're in New Horizons, and they've been re-releasing the Amiibo cards, but those 50 are still exclusive to the Welcome Amiibo set. Like, you cannot get them in any other way.
Yeah, and I really liked those. They look good, those cards, and you would get that furniture when you would scan them in. So it was kind of like the Sanrio cards, where it's more than just the villager. And they're just designed really well.
Yeah. That card design is just so much more fun than kind of the basic character art, that we've gotten.
Yeah, with the plain color background.
Yeah, it's more stylized. It's just more fun. I wish they would do that with like more of them, but I guess they're pretty committed to what the design is already. So
yeah, there's no backing out.
Yeah. I guess my next one, I keep scrolling back and forth to the ones you're talking about, and then the one I'm talking about. And then my next one is Ruby, and Ruby is our peppy albino bunny with her red eyes. Very creepy. I love it. And she's on the cover of KK Adventure. That was a little fun trivia there for her. She was introduced in Wild World. So this is one of those that was like a new villager in that game. And it's so... Why I find this funny is just like they take out villagers for a game and then they add new villagers, and you just never know what you're gonna get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your example earlier where it was like, oh yeah, this character didn't make it back into Wild World but came back in City Folk, Francine and Chrissy, right?
Yeah.
And then Ruby was just like added into Wild World, and maybe it is because she does have like a simple white
very
design.
Simple, yeah.
Very easy to work that design into the game versus a bunch of polka dots, right?
It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, I have a fun fact about Ruby.
Oh yeah?
She if you go into her home, she's got all this space stuff, right? She's got like a big moon and a space rover, and I'm pretty sure her like floor and wallpaper are like the like moon theme, space theme. And it's because in Japan, and I think also in France, like, you know how we see the man in the moon?
Yeah.
They see a rabbit in the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you're
that's
totally
why
right.
there's moon rabbits. Like there's moon rabbits all over Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
which is so cute.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. I
Like
love that.
the Odyssey. Odyssey had moon rabbits.
It did. I remember. Oh,
So
I still need to go and try to beat some of those like really hard last levels in that game.
the moon levels.
Yeah, maybe one day.
One day. Cute Ruby. Her little albino eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got another spooky one up next. We got Coco next.
Oh.
Coco, the normal. Oh, their first normal bunny, who is who's shaped like. I mean, if you don't know what she is, I guess you would kind of think that she was made out of dirt. She's got like a weird texture to her.
I always thought she was like a coconut, like a hollowed
coconut.
out coconut. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But she's actually supposed to be a Haniwa, just like the gyroids. Which is so much fun. So, Haniwa were like these very old clay figures that were put in forests that were used as kind of like jars for warriors' souls once they had fallen. And people are still like unearthing them in the Japanese forests today, which is so cool. That's what the gyroids are based off of.
Yeah.
But they're in all shapes and sizes, and a few of them kind of look like Coco. She's awfully cute. So she's got, the soul of a warrior inside of her.
Yeah, and she's one of the few characters you can craft. No, I'm just kidding. You cannot craft her.
If you water a gyroid enough, Coco moves into your...
will appear.
Yeah.
That is, oh my goodness. If we started one of those like playground rumors, that would be incredible.
That would be
Maybe
incredible.
that's the dream.
It's not a rumor, it's real. You have to
tell
water
your kids
your gyroid 30
and if you
days
get
in a row.
lucky, Coco will move in.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, like, it's also possible, like, Coco can just, like, move into a place and people will credit them watering their gyroid.
Correlation, not causation, is that what it is?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, she started in Animal Forest, so she's been around since the beginning of time.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah, she's been around before Animal Forest came out.
It's true.
Yeah.
She's the inventor of Animal Crossing.
Exactly. The true source of Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one is Pippi, and Pippi is, of course, a Peppy, and she's a creamy yellow bunny with navy blue ears who also got her start in Animal Forest, and I have never had Pippi. She's one of those that's like, I think has eluded my islands or my towns, so she's pretty cute. I always think of Pippi Longstockings whenever I see her name.
She's got the freckles.
Yeah, kind of the freckles. So I imagine that's where her name kind of stemmed from, but who knows?
These in the New Horizons art, they've got her in like the really cute overalls that have this little striped shirt underneath, and it seems to fit her so well. She's got kind of like, the zigzag hairdo and the freckles, and she's got like kind of a smirk on her face. So she almost looks like a little kid up to no good. She's cute.
Yeah. I really like that outfit too. It's one of the cutest ones.
I wonder, because her eyes are so closed in her like neutral expression, I wonder what her expressions look like.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be fun to have her, because there's always like characters like Shep, who has a little eye covered, and
one pops out, right?
Yeah, they went out of their way to really design and animate that eye to pop out.
So cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah, one day we'll find out. Pippi, we're coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my next one is Cole. And Cole is a black bunny who has like circle, really light blue eyes, like they almost look white. He's got kind of like peachish inner ear color and like really sharp buck teeth.
Yeah.
And no nose, but he was introduced in New Leaf, which is really
Mm.
interesting to me. He doesn't look like a New Leaf design to me.
Yeah, he does have like a little bit more of a classic Animal
Mm-hmm.
Crossing look
Yeah, he looks like
design.
he's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
He also looks like he just stumbled in on something he shouldn't have seen.
I love that.
He's got these cute little gray eyebrows.
Yes. I really like him. He is one that I find really cute and have wanted him on my town before, but
It
never
sounds
never
like
gotten him.
you just need a bunny town.
I probably do. I do like a lot of the bunnies. I have had there's so many of them, so I have had quite a few, but not all of them.
Tab in the comments says Cole has crunchy vibes, and I really agree.
Yes, definitely a crunchy character for sure.
So cute.
All right, so the next one I've got is O'Hare, and O'Hare is one of the characters that has gone through a journey, originally
Oh.
in Animal Forest Plus, which, just to confuse you a little bit, it's not Animal Forest, the N64 one, it's the first iteration of the GameCube one. That was also only in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So Animal Forest Plus, not E plus, just plus. He in that game was a cranky villager because smug did not exist quite yet. So these
Oh.
days he is a smug villager, but he did get his start as a cranky, and he is a little chocolate bunny with orange bangs and a hat, very tropical, and I think that might be because he might have been one of those characters that was exclusive to the island villager category, which, just to repeat really quickly, if you plugged in your Game Boy Advance to your GameCube, you get Cap'n to take you over to the island, and there were exclusive villagers there. You'd only get one of those villagers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He looks
only
like
one.
a cranky. He's got some eyes that have seen things.
Yeah, I think in the past that was definitely like the category that would have fit him, but I think as you get to know him, you're like, oh yeah, he's a little smug guy. I had him in New Leaf, and it's funny because he was one of my camper villagers in New Leaf. When I built my camp, I walked in and immediately I was just like, O'Hare, you are amazing. You're moving in, and he was a good friend to me for a long time.
Aw. I guess it just goes to show that if you're a cranky villager, if you spend long enough on an island paradise, you become a smug villager.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, my next one. My next one is Doc. I love Doc. He is a blue bunny with light orange inner ears, and actually the bottom half of his body is all that kind of lightish orangish color. And he has on his little red glasses, which I'm pretty sure, just like we talked about with Eugene, if you switch out his glasses, they can be switched out. He's a lazy bunny, of course. And some people were thinking online that his name Doc comes from Bugs Bunny saying, "What's up, Doc?" Which is adorable.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
He's another villager who started in Animal Forest, skipped for a while, and then came back in New Leaf as an RV card, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, I should mention too, O'Hare was one of those that skipped, but didn't come back as an RV card, just came back in the base New Leaf game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that happened too. All right, so the next one I've got here is Mira, and she is the only sisterly bunny that we have.
Oh.
She's a yellow superhero bunny that might have been named after the red giant star in the constellation. Is it Cetus?
I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Cetus. For anybody who is more just knows constellations much better than I. I can't see them. I'm bad at it. And she was introduced in New Leaf, so she was one of the brand new characters there, and also in the base game.
Yeah. I've never had her, but I love her cute little like side smile she's got going on.
Yes, the side smirk, it's great. I
Yeah.
had her for a little while and she was fun.
You know what? And her superhero design looks like it could be part of her fur. It really doesn't bother me as much as the ones that wear helmets.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of her design is like she does have kind of the masked eyes,
Hmm.
right? But I think her clothes are completely changeable, and she
Yeah.
doesn't have like a hat or helmet like some of the other designs do.
Yeah, she's cute. I want to meet her.
Cool.
Let's see, where was I? My next one, Dottie. Dottie is an
Yay.
old-fashioned girl too. She's a black and white, kind of like an Oreo bunny. I think it's even like a type of bunny that has these like markings that go around either of the eyes and then along its back. Um,
Hmm.
she's another one with no nose and is from Animal Forest, the first game. And kind of really simple, just like round black eyes with the, white circles around them.
Those
But she's a
eyes
peppy.
do turn red when she's surprised.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really a cute little feature for her.
Oh, that's really nice.
Hmm. All right. From here, I think you had done this far into the list, but I guess I'll keep it going. Hopkins is a lazy, light blue rabbit, yellow inner ears with freckles and no nose, once again. Inflatable toy blowhole on the back of his head, kind of like, everybody's it's one of those weird characters where you're like, this is clearly some inanimate object turned
Mm.
sentient, shares a birthday with Zipper, which is fitting. They're both not who we think they are.
Oh,
So yeah, Hopkins kind of is probably a blow up toy that just
probably.
exists. Yeah, and he was in E plus and returned to New Leaf through the Welcome Amiibo update as well.
The other thing that's interesting to me about Hopkins is that because he's a blow up doll, I guess, he if you look at his face, it looks like it's been blown up. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like what's the opposite of concave? Convex. Like his eyes look
Yeah.
like they're like bulbous a little bit. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
not placed right where they should be, which is adorable because he's
Yes.
a blow up toy. It's so cute. He's an interesting one to me. Every once in a while you come across one of these characters that have such a weird little detail like the blow up valve. And you're like, what is going on here?
See, okay, like this, let me make this for my argument of like if we only had 20 villagers that were completely distinct,
Oh
like
no.
they could really take the time on the designs to make it so have these little details that are unique to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think you're just gonna need to design your own game with 20 villagers.
Honestly, I do.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for more than 20 villagers.
Oh no.
I get that it's not a lot. But I don't know. I keep thinking of like things that I would want to happen in Animal
Yeah.
Crossing, and I'm like, I should learn to make a game.
Your characters would have deep lore.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, we're gonna skip Francine because we did her already. So my next one is Gabby, who I've also never had Gabby. She is a white peppy bunny with like fuchsia pink inner ears, but then like light pink freckles. A very big black nose and like very circular black eyes, and then kind of red, like that old fashioned spiky hair. So she's Animal Forest. Well, then she has a
Mm,
nose too. So there goes my theory. But she kind of looks like a Raggedy Andy doll to
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I get that vibe too. She feels like, I don't know, just childhood for
Yeah.
some reason, right? Um, Yeah, I think I had her for a little while on the GameCube, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right, only got a couple more. How many bunnies are there? A
There's so
million.
many bunnies. It's true to
So
their
many of
nature.
them. It's very true. The next one is Genji. He is a jock, and he is a white rabbit with almond-shaped blue eyes, a frown, and pink cheeks. His name is a reference to the book The Tale of Genji, written by Murasaki Shikibu, which is thought by some to be the world's first novel. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And just like the first novel in the world, he is in the first Animal Crossing game in the world, Animal Forest.
His designs kind of look almost geisha-ish,
Yeah.
which is interesting because he's a jock.
Mhm.
So maybe more like, I don't know, like the Japanese No plays. Oh, it's just so cool looking. And I know he's got a very big fan base out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to have characters that are so specific, because I feel like you can really design around them in ways that I don't know, just make it feel different from a lot of the other characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
And last but not least, I can't believe we're ending on my beloved Gaston.
Yes.
Aw, bringing it back to old times. Gaston is a cranky bunny who is yellow. He has like blue inner ears with a large orange nose and a big bushy brown mustache. Fun fact, his catchphrase is mon chou, which is a French term of endearment that means my cabbage.
Oh,
Like
so
my little
cute.
cabbage.
Yeah.
So sweet. Which is perfect for a bunny to say to everyone he loves. And he's an oldie but a goodie from Animal Forest.
Yeah. Big mustache. Love it.
He looks like Ron Swanson. I love him so much.
No, Ron Swanson looks like Gaston. I think didn't he come? Gaston came first, right?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, they clearly made the character based on Gaston.
It's exactly what happened.
Yep. All right, so I guess we talked so much about bunnies, but it's not over. We're gonna talk about Bunny Day and why it is the best. But then also kind of follow up with like what we actually want to happen to holidays in the future of Animal Crossing, right? So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna just start this by quickly going over why I think Bunny Day is the gold standard for what should happen in. Don't yawn at me.
I did it.
Should. Bunny Day's the best. It's not boring at all. Okay, the thing that's not the best about it, I'll put this right at the beginning here. The items. The items are terrible. They're just. Unfortunately, that's what overshadows a lot of Bunny Day for people, and it makes the other things not get. At least I feel appreciated the way I appreciate them. But the other thing that kind of isn't great about Bunny Day is that once you've done it once, you just don't have anything to do any of the following years. Literally, the event is like craft everything, and once you're done with it, the next year you talk to Zipper T Bunny on the event day, and he's like, "Cool, you've crafted everything. Here you go," and you're done. Like literally, there's nothing to do. Beyond year one of whenever you experience this. So, the things that I do like about it is that the event completely takes over the town. Everybody in town is talking about it. There's tons of dialogue about it. The eggs are everywhere. You find them all over the place. They go toward what the event is, which unfortunately is crafting items that aren't good. Tons of DIY recipes. This event has more DIY recipes than any of the other ones. Literally, like, I think there's 44 items that you get from this. They're all horrible looking, except for like a few good ones here and there, but like I wish the other events got as many DIYs as this. There's a big build up to the day, like it takes over your town for a week. It feels like it's just everybody's focused on it. And then there's special rewards on the final day. So like even after a week, there's still just a little bit more that you can benefit from at the end. So I like those aspects of Bunny Day. I like that there's a big integration of it into the island, and kind of, I don't know, I want that for the rest of the holidays. I think they do a little bit here and there that it fits with this, but I think the fact that so much real stuff that you would do on a normal everyday basis gets like taken over by that too, like running into fish eggs, the water eggs while fishing, seeing all these balloons fly by that are not not regular balloons but bunny day balloons. Like, so many activities in the game are integrated into the gameplay of Bunny Day, and I like that aspect to it.
Yeah.
So, Nina, why do you hate it?
I guess really it is the items. They're my least favorite items of any of the holidays. They did try and update them a little bit in year 2, and we did get a few cuter things. But oh gosh, all the eggs. And I think I'm also still kind of holding that first year against it before they balanced out the eggs and they just took over our island. It was unbearable. I don't know. And it's kind of fun to hate on Zipper. He's so creepy and he sighs so heavily when you walk away from him. You know,
I
you
love
love to hate him.
Zipper. Yeah. I mean, I just love how he's so clearly in act.
Yeah.
And you can see he breaks that, and you can see it from a distance, just the sadness. It's amazing.
And every once in a while, along with the dialogue that he says, you'll see like the little text where he's whispering. He's like, "Oh, how much longer do I have to keep hopping?" or something like that.
He's so sassy. It's so good.
It is. It is good. I mean, it holds a place in my heart. It just might be very low on my list in my heart.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I think the big failure of Bunny Day is just that the items are not great. It's like,
Yeah.
and to be fair, I mean, like, Bunny Day has never really had the items that I liked
Yeah,
best, you know?
historically. Yeah.
Yeah, the color schemes also, like, not super my thing, kind of the pastel Easter colors, right? Never been a huge fan of those, so I don't know how they'll ever recover that aspect of it, you know? I think that it's possible. There's definitely some cute items that are pretty fun, but for the most part, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna like the items for Bunny Day, but
Yeah.
I do like, and I think there was a shift in how Nintendo probably initially wanted to implement holidays, because for the first year, we didn't have any of the holidays in the game. Like, they were only added during that certain time period, and then whenever the next update dropped, they were removed. Like, you couldn't go back to it, you couldn't go forward to it. So the events were very time sensitive, and that's how they were handled. And I think they wanted to evolve. They probably had a plan in mind to evolve the events a lot more over time than they could. And there were a number of factors that got in the way of that. For one, you know, a pandemic that kept the teams from being able to work on games quite like they could. That was one big effect. And then there was also the feedback they received. Like,
Yeah.
overall, the aspects that I liked about it were just like not very well received across a lot of people, the eggs especially, which I will say, the water eggs, as annoying as they have been toned down quite a bit from that
Yeah.
first time, to the extent that they're kind of harder eggs to get now. So there's that aspect to it. But then also, with the beginning of the game, fishing is always an activity in Animal Crossing that people tend to connect with really quickly, and the fact that that group of people that was really into the fishing was having that basically ruined for them with the water eggs. It was like it expounded that negative response toward the eggs, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, they had to get toned down overall. It was ridiculous how many we got, but to now, like, looking into year 2, year 3, where people have already kind of caught the fish in that time, I think it's like, it shouldn't be a bother, you know?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. There are a bunch of aspects to that. But anyways, they got feedback, and I don't think other holidays in New Horizons got implemented probably the way they originally wanted to implement them, just because people were so down on I guess the crafting items getting so ingrained into the rest of the Animal Crossing world, you know?
Oh.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I think that's kind of how I look at it, but overall, there's so many aspects of it that I did appreciate. So let's actually hop into like what we would want for future Animal Crossing holidays. Nina, what's something you would like to happen in the
Mm.
future?
I love when the lights around Toy Day are up in the pine trees.
Mm,
So I want some more decorations and trees. Like there
yeah.
could be little bunny day bunting flags hung on with your cherry blossom trees, you know, on a few of them. Or like little bats strung up in during Halloween or something. I think that could be
Yes.
adorable. I those twinkling lights make my day.
Yes, I would love that. And I mean, I remember where I used to live, there was a house kind of nearby that really liked having different lights up for every holiday. So you'd always
Oh,
see like them pretty decked out for each holiday. And I was like, they could do that in Animal Crossing. Like, just change the color scheme, and you got Halloween lights, you got Bunny Day lights, you got all
yeah.
sorts of different things. And they did add in the second year the Bunny Day tree, right? Where it was kind of that white
Yeah.
naked tree with the eggs hanging from it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, just see if they put eggs in the trees. I
That'd
mean, I
be
guess
so
there are
cute.
literally eggs in the trees for them from those tree eggs, right?
Yeah.
Um, but like if they were there for decor, that would be just as cute.
Yeah, I think so too. And I wouldn't want them to last too long because, you know, the cherry blossom trees are so beautiful on their own. I don't want anything to take away from that season, but maybe just for Bunny Day would be really cute.
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. To some extent, Bunny Day's already done it. They've put trees and eggs. Y-
Eggs and trees.
Champions. Yeah, eggs and trees. That's the way. They've done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for every holiday, give us some more decorations in
More.
them.
Mhm.
My first one is kind of along those lines. I want to see villagers decorate their homes for the
Oh,
holidays.
like
Like,
in Wild World.
yeah, like in Wild World, you had the Festival of Lights. You even had the that like flower growing competition, which if you
Yeah.
were really rude, you would go and steal all your neighbors' flowers and put them around your house and win. I think that was in City Folk. I don't remember if that one was in Wild World. Um, but yeah, like they had little events that it kind of just felt so cool and unique and gave your town a different look and feel than it normally would have.
Mhm.
So if villagers like decorated the exterior, put little pumpkins in their windows, skulls in their on their windows or something,
Ah,
just adorable little things like Nook's Cranny. Nook's Cranny
yes.
gets little decorations for the seasons, and I love that aspect to Nook's Cranny. I want that extended to the villagers' homes.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't mind if they also decorated a bit of their interior. Like maybe they have like a few of the holiday decorations out for that
Yeah.
season. It
And
would be
as
cute.
especially if like, you know, those villagers that really do look good in Halloween, if they decorated just a little bit more, or if, you know, like characters like Eric, who's, you know, the moose, liked
Yeah.
Christmas the most, you know, like if they all had their own little holiday, that would be
Yes.
adorable.
The characters need to have their favorite things. Like they
Yeah.
introduce like kind of the hobby thing, right? In
Mhm.
New Horizons.
Yeah, and they have a favorite color. Like if you give them an item that they really enjoy, you'll get like more points or something.
Yeah, and they'll wear it around more too, I think, when
Yeah.
you give them a piece of clothing that this is in their favorite color.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. More in-depth things with the villagers always.
Yeah, maybe if you cut down on the number a little bit, make them a little
No!
unique.
Get out of here.
All right, what's your next one?
My next one is some more non-holiday days, like we were just talking about when they had the flower festival, or if they had Ladi Day, or
Mm-hmm.
when they would have the flea markets. I loved when Animal Crossing had its own holidays, along with the real life holidays too. But give us something to look forward to on some mundane Tuesday, so that it kind of gives you a reason to play that day.
Yeah.
And then we a lot of people miss our main holidays because they're spending time with their families on those real holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So a good balance of both would be nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a good balance of both, but I also like there there was one clear step that New Horizons made away from what Animal Crossing used to do that kind of makes me think it's possible for them to just like completely commit to made up holidays, but um that step was like the step away from themed other game furniture, like themed Nintendo stuff. And
Mm.
I think it wanted to differentiate itself from other Nintendo games at this point. Like Animal Crossing is its own thing. It doesn't have to rely on these references to, I mean, people like them, yes, and they're fun, but it really wanted to establish itself, I think, as like, this is what Animal Crossing is. It's not like other things. And that step to me said like, oh, maybe one day they will go away from like the real world references, the stuff that's outside of Animal Crossing, and maybe they will go and just do their own holidays. And I think that'd be fine. I think that'd be totally fine if they make them, fun, engaging, and really make you feel like festive and capture because I feel like it's more about like capturing a feeling during a certain holiday,
Yeah.
like those holidays at the end of the year feel good, so good to me, like the Halloween, the Turkey Day, the Toy Day, because
Hmm.
it's just like it matches up so well with the vibe in the world that I'm having right now, and
Yeah.
it feels great. And as long as they capture that, like it can be a made up holiday exclusive to Animal Crossing, and that'd be fine.
Yeah, man. And if it's a really good little made up holiday in Animal Crossing, we can bring it into the real world, make it a real real holiday.
Yeah, definitely.
A real
Just
Animal Crossing holiday.
celebrate all the Animal Crossing holidays in real life.
Hmm.
Challenge. That
You can
needs to
be
be the
like,
rest of the world.
I need to take Tuesday off. It's Ladi Day.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's my religion.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of my next one is that I want to see the entire town slash shops get involved with things. Like
Yeah.
I want to see more special limited time items to purchase from everyone. Like say
Oh.
you have your visiting merchants, right? Your Saharas and stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, normally I don't have these things, but it's for the holidays, right?" Just
Oh.
more exclusive stuff that only appears during this time the time period, because I think that's to me is what draws people in to Animal Crossing, or at least back to it, where they're like, "Oh yeah, that looks like a cool thing. I definitely want to go log in and try to get that."
Yeah.
Um, so I want to see more of that. I want to see more stuff in all the regular shops too, like Able Sisters, Nook's Cranny, special clothing, special items that they only have during that time. Just more of that. And even like that can extend to like limited time DIY recipes or item redemptions from the Nook stop. Um, that was something that I thought would happen. Like if you asked me
Yeah.
before the game came out, the Nook Stop, if you told me about the Nook Stop, I would have said, "Oh yeah, I bet you each season there's going to be like a rotation of new stuff in the Nook Stop that you
Mm.
can get." I would have told you that, but that didn't turn out to be the case. And I think we kind of get that through seasonal items, but I'm talking like Nook Mile redemption items. Like I want
Yeah.
to see new Nook Mile redemptions at the Nook Stop. And they've added some in the 2.0 update, but if they were more seasonal, I think that'd be cool. And
Yeah.
then kind of going back to the villagers decorating their home, just every building gets decorated. I love when the plaza gets
Mhm.
decorated, and the at least the the town hall or the resident services building. I love when that happens, and just especially the Toy Day one where it's like over time and that sort of thing. I want to see more of that. More decorations for the holidays.
Well, and that goes into my next one. I am saying the same thing. I like to have plenty of warning when a holiday is coming up, and I think that the plaza being slowly decorated helps with that so bad or so well. So like I don't like it to sneak up on me. The plaza getting like very slowly decorated, just like you said, over the course of like a week sometimes is perfect. Keep it up. I want that to happen for every single holiday. I don't want any holiday to all of a sudden be like, bam, decorated overnight. It just feels more real when it's built up.
When you get to see the process of it becoming that, it's great.
So cute.
Yeah. My last one is I just want to see more activities and challenges. And this kind of stems from like the fact that Bunny Day is kind of over for me the rest of my time in New Horizons. Like, I already crafted all the things year one, and now I never have to craft them again, and I'm done. And yes, I'm grateful for that, but at the same time, I'm like, if this happened to another holiday and I couldn't really replay it afterwards, it would just be a bummer, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, just more activities, more challenges. Maybe, like, like I said, I felt like they had this opportunity to like reimagine holidays each year, but after some feedback and, challenges with development, they couldn't do that anymore. So I would have appreciated like getting, and maybe, I don't know if we'll see a new maze in, what is it? Rover's, what was Rover's event called? Mayday, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see like a new Mayday maze, but like if there was like a few different activities that rotated throughout the years, like one year you do this, the next year you do that, the next year you do something completely different, and then it comes back again. Like that'd be one way to just like really change up each year and keep the game playable for a few years longer. As far as holidays go,
Yeah. My next one goes along with that too. Like if it could cycle through a few things, kind of like the Zodiac figures, they cycle what 12, 13 years, 12 years, right?
12 figures, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to have 12 New Year's gifts. If every event could cycle through, even if it was just every other, like the colors flip or something like that, something that you can work towards. I also thought it'd be really cool if the events stacked, like you would only get a certain special pumpkin if you've played through 3 Halloween events, like if the game kind of kept track of how many times you've done something, and then you could, get more and more. Kind of like I thought the anniversary cake was going to have a 2 and then a 3 and then a 4, like, little things like that could slowly be leaked out over time would be incredible.
Yeah, no, agreed. Like that, just stuff that keeps it going into the next year rather than like leaving you with nothing, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be huge. It just has to keep us wanting to go back.
Yeah. And that would make it fun. So, yeah, I think those are great ideas. I can't wait for the next game, see what we get out of that one. But, I mean, we'll see. Because, I do think New Horizons is great. I definitely feel like now, after having played all of the games and seen like just all the things that they do, I like a lot of the ways they're redesigning some ideas. I like the directions they're going with stuff, but I also definitely see that like sometimes there's a bunch of constraints that you have to work with, and a lot of it isn't possible, I think as you create more and more, you definitely start to become more aware of like what holds you back from making things even better and better. So each iteration gets better, though. I think we're there. So let's hop into Haken's Islander Corner. For those of you who don't know, every single week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and read their answers out loud here on the show. This week's question was, what are some ways for Animal Crossing to improve its accessibility? So we talked about this last week. We had a lot of really great things to say, and I wanted to hear from more people and see what they thought as well. So maybe we'll go you, then me.
Okay. So our first one is from Squee of Tortuga, who says, I have auditory processing disorder, so I usually turn down or off the music in games and boost the sound effects so I can play with the sound on without getting overloaded. The fact that Animal Crossing doesn't have any sound options at all is pretty strange. Not even just a music on-off button. Even mobile games have that, which is so true. I feel like we even talked about this in our discussion, where it's like some games even let you like slide the effects up or down a little bit. This could be an easy fix.
Yeah, there's now that I think of it, there's like one sound option that I've seen, and it's the radios, the speakers, whatever you're playing through, and it's really just like 3 different volume levels.
Yeah.
And it's only for that one device, nothing else.
Yeah.
So,
this would be easy.
I always bump it up to the highest, by the way. For the Whim said, I think something like an auto target for bug catching, sea creature diving, and fishing would be super helpful. Press A button to do that, as opposed to trying to navigate and catch at exactly time would probably make a huge difference. I also think larger text options and something like auto-circulating through dialogue rather than having to press a button over and over again would be helpful. Lastly, I think vibrations when you're approaching a bug on trees would be super helpful.
Ooh.
Trying to just see them if you have a bunch or rely solely on sound of cicadas or mole crickets has got to be frustrating. Yeah, I am all for like getting some sort of other feedback whenever you're close to a bug or creature, right?
Multiple formats of like attention getting notification, I guess, is always the way to go.
Yeah.
Islander M says, I think a settings menu is important. As the 4 of you on the podcast mentioned last week, things like brightness and sound changes can make a real difference to people's ability to play Animal Crossing, and there doesn't seem to be any real drawbacks of allowing people to alter them from Nintendo's point of view. A menu like this would also make it a lot easier to do things like add new players, delete existing ones, and restart your island. Also, this is probably just because I'm dim, but it took me a full year to realize you could play in another language if you changed the language of your Switch. That option would be nice in an in-game menu so that dim people can enjoy the game in any language they want. I don't think you're dim, Em.
You're not dim.
I also love that word, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many easy things.
Yeah, there needs to be menus for these, and it would have been the cutest game to like work those in with us literally going into our phones, our Nook phones, to set those things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just stick a settings menu in there.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Done. We fixed the problem.
So Logan said, simple. Add actual audio options. Let me adjust the volume for sound effects, music, and voices independently of one another. I seriously have no clue why most modern Nintendo games still don't have basic audio settings. This would really help people who are sensitive to loud sounds because, man, this game can be loud sometimes. I'm looking at you, title screen.
Oh my gosh. And sometimes I have my Switch just on in the title screen and it plays that little bit of music and then it goes like so quiet with like the little person it's focusing on, the little villager just walking around, and it's like
you get
just
the little
ambient
crunchy
noises.
Footsteps.
And that lasts for like, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden it blares back into the opening sounds again. It's a lot. It has scared me multiple times.
Yeah, I wish there was a better way to adjust all of it. And there'd be so many sounds that we could get that are just so difficult to hear. I would personally like little sound clips of some things in the game, but I'm like, nope, can't get it because all of these other sounds are going on.
You know what I really had trouble with in New Leaf actually was, and I love rainy days, so this kind of ruined it for me. But in New Leaf, if you had mud underneath your path or like mud worn down from the grass, and it was raining, the boots, like your player running across the mud, was so much louder than any other footsteps, and like even louder than the rain falling. I often had to turn down my sound in New Leaf just because of the mud splooshy noises. And I don't have any, like auditory processing that I have to deal with. So even just for, someone with like fairly normal like sensory issues, I had to turn it down. So I can't imagine what it would have done to other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's too many things that they can fix and haven't gotten to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anybody who is a patron and listening, next week's question is going to be, who is your favorite bunny/rabbit villager? I figured since we've gone through all of them now,
yeah.
you can let us know who your favorite is, because there's so many cuties. It's honestly a tough choice with the bunnies. I don't think you can go wrong.
Tell us why they're your favorite too. Like maybe you have a really, good story about how you met them or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'd love to hear it. And thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. If you're sad to see us go, join us over on Discord. You can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including me and Nina. Want to support Haken in a bigger way and tell us your answers in the Haken Islander Corner? Head over to patreon.com/ChuyPlays. $1 goes a long way to making this show even better and includes tons of goodies for you to enjoy. Get a special role on Discord, read a monthly newsletter, and get many other great rewards. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. If you're listening on YouTube, what are some ways Animal Crossing can improve its accessibility? Reviews really help the show get discovered by more people. Please leave a review on your platform of choice and let us know how we're doing. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
See you all next time.